Life is full of unexpected surprises. My name is Mary Johnson, a woman who, like many others, married in a church, believing she had found love for a lifetime. I lived in Boston, Massachusetts, with my husband, John, and our 2 children, Mark and Olivia. I was passionate about him and happy to take care of our home and children. On our wedding day, if someone had told me that John, the father of my children, would leave me to raise Mark and Olivia alone, I would have found that idea completely absurd. But life has its own turns. Tired of family life and disillusioned with the marriage, John met a young woman, fell in love, and decided to leave everything behind in search of a new beginning. On a typical autumn Sunday, I woke up early ready to prepare breakfast as usual, but I realized John wasn't home. Instead, I found a note on the table. At first, I thought it was a cruel joke, but upon checking the closet, I saw that all his things had disappeared. The cruel reality set in. John had left with another woman, breaking all ties with us, including our children, because he intended to start a new life with no connection to the past. That's how I found myself alone with the responsibility of taking care of Mark and Olivia, who were 14 years old at the time. John promised to help financially but never did. He completely disappeared from our lives. The days dragged on and I had to be strong for my children. Olivia missed her father greatly while Mark tried to appear strong. Mom, everything will be okay," he would say, but I knew I had to be the rock they leaned on. I decided it was time to roll up my sleeves and get a job. I started working hard to support my children, wanting to give them the best I could. I enrolled Olivia in dance classes and Mark in soccer practices, trying to give them all the opportunities one never had. I dedicated myself entirely to being both mother and father, never letting anything be lacking. Over time, friends and family began to encourage me to find a new husband. But the idea of introducing someone new into my children's lives frightened me. How can I trust someone after everything I've been through? I wondered. The prospect of marrying again seemed like a risk I wasn't willing to take, especially after the trauma of being abandoned by my children's father. My life revolved around ensuring that Mark and Olivia had everything they needed, but in trying to make up for their father's absence, I ended up raising children who only knew how to ask for more. Respect for me began to disappear and the gap between us grew. Mark and Olivia did not hesitate to throw in my face that their father had abandoned them because of me, making me feel guilty for something I had no control over. I loved them so much, but I realized too late that I was being manipulated by the love I had for them. In the years that followed, Mark and Olivia became adults who cared more about their own interests than about the well-being of the family. I never imposed firm limits, always giving in, even in the face of their selfish behaviors. Then life dealt me a harsh blow. I was diagnosed with a serious illness. The news did not shock them out of concern for me, but because now they had to take on responsibilities they had never known. Mark and Olivia began to conspire together, pretending affection and compassion to gain my trust. One day, with great sweetness, they asked me to transfer all my assets into their names, saying it would make caring for me and managing the family business easier. With the illness progressing and having no strength to resist, I ended up giving in. After signing the papers, Mark and Olivia quickly transferred all my properties, cars, and the small business I had built with so much effort into their names. Why do we have to take care of her now? It was the work she did all her life that ruined her health, Mark argued with his sister. And Olivia coldly agreed. Hearing this, I felt a profound sadness. Where did I go wrong? I thought, realizing that in my eagerness to give them everything, I lost the chance to truly be present. My children, now adults, believed it was the government's duty to care for me, and without any remorse, sold everything I had and put me in a public nursing home for the elderly and disabled. At that moment, I felt powerless, betrayed, and completely alone. Mark and Olivia left the nursing home without looking back, saying it was for my own good. Here you will receive the care you need, they said, but the reality was that they just wanted to get rid of me. This story is a sad reflection of how a mother's love and dedication can be misunderstood and undervalued. I gave everything to provide the best for my children, forgetting that presence and love cannot be replaced by material possessions. My children never learned to appreciate the sacrifice made, resulting in selfish and cruel behavior. Caring for those who cared for us should be a moral duty, an act of love that is passed from generation to generation. Thus, we aim to build a fairer and more humane society.